right after the pyramid spoke to me, and it was just noise, and I understood every word. And this gun's alive. You know what? I'm happy. Happy to be here.
Control is a new game from an acclaimed developer, Remedy. Is this game their magnum opus or a reeking pile of shit? Stick with this review to find out.
You can't let this happen. You can't let this happen. You can't let this happen. You can't let this happen.
Control has a very unique story, and this is one of the game's main strong points. The game revolves around an agency called the Federal Bureau of Control, or FBC for short. This is a clandestine agency that deals and investigates paranormal activities. Their base of operations is in New York, in a brutalist skyscraper. The whole game takes place in this building. Your main enemy is the Hiss, a paranormal entity who is contained in the FBC's headquarters. You play as Jessie Faden, a young girl who is in a search for her younger brother, Dylan. 17 years ago, you and your brother were involved in an incident where your brother went missing. And also the Bureau was involved in this too. So Jessie goes on in the FBC HQ in search of her younger brother, and things get even more interesting from here. I could go on into more detail, but I'm not going to. The story is the absolute star of the show, and it would be a dick move for me to spoil it further for you. Does the gameplay complement the brilliant story of this game? Yes, it fucking does. So you have this massive building to explore and kill the Hiss. The combat is awesome. Your main weapon is the service weapon. This is a gun that can change shapes. The first shape acts as a regular pistol. Then you get to transform the weapon to a shotgun, then Pierce, which is basically a railgun and is extremely effective in piercing enemies' armor. Also, you can transform the weapon into Spin, which is basically a machine gun, and the final shape is Charge, which is basically a rocket launcher. Also, what complements these excellent weapons are your abilities. The main one I used is called Launch. It's basically telekinesis, and you can throw objects into enemies with devastating effects. You can also blast an energy wave, which is effective at close range. There's dash, shield, etc. So plenty of abilities. But later on you get a very cool ability, which is Levitate. Basically you can levitate freely in the air for a certain amount of time. And if you combine levitation with your charge weapon shape, results can be pretty chaotic for the enemies. Speaking of enemies, there's a good variety of them. Regular Hiss-possessed FBC agents, stronger varieties with shield, fungus creatures, flying creatures, and red circular beings who do no damage to you, but their main purpose is to heal others. If you have the Seize ability, an ability that lets you seize enemies and make them fight for you, you could seize the red circular healing creature and make it heal you instead of your enemies. There's plenty of combat options available if you're creative. Also, there's an upgrade system at play here. You can equip mods to your gun shapes, you can upgrade these mods and your weapons. Also, there are personal mods which act as kind of perks. I love the upgrade system at play here. It's not too robust, but it's unique. Exploration plays a big part in this game as well. You get to explore the whole FBC building and even do some side quests. It's a big building and it's a joy to explore it. There are control points for you to claim. These are basically save points. If you die in combat, you will get sent to the last control point you visited. It's not a bad system, and the control points are spread out fairly generously, but I'd still would have preferred a traditional checkpoint based system or the ability to quick save manually. That's pretty much the only thing I disliked in the whole game. Also, you can miss out on some of the abilities if you don't do side quests. And the side quests are very interesting, and characters giving out these side missions are great. Especially Audie the janitor.
Excuse me.
There you are. You are here about the job. Janitor's assistant.
This game has an insane atmosphere. The FBC building is drop-dead gorgeous with its brutalist office style. I loved it. The minimalistic approach to texture detail is a brave move by the developers. If the game didn't have such a great lighting system, this approach would have failed. I also love the oceanside view hotel sequences. They add so much to the experience. Just play the game, I won't spoil it for you. Let's talk about the graphics. This game looks insane. It has a great physics engine, and it's a joy to see it at play when you're throwing stuff on enemies. And combined with stellar particle effects, it's truly a sight to behold. Also, there's a great lighting system here. It's honestly some of the best I've seen. And if you have an Nvidia RTX card, you even get real-time ray tracing. I have an AMD card, so I wasn't able to see this, but I suggest you check out Digital Foundry's video analysis on this game. They explained and showcased ray tracing features this game has. I was able to play this at max settings at 1080p with no dips in performance. It was a rock-solid 60 FPS. Of course, this is without the ray tracing features. I have an i7 4770 Haswell, 16GB of DDR3, an SSD and a Vega 64 card. Like I said, on this configuration it ran excellent in 1080p. I haven't checked out the console versions of this game, but from what I hear it runs poorly on the base systems. Keep that in mind if you plan on playing this on peasant machines. Control is a game that I honestly didn't expect to like so much. If you like good storytelling, quality combat and tense atmosphere, I think you'll really enjoy Control. It's a great 15 to 20 hours of quality content. If I had to give a score to this game, I'd give it 9.7 out of 10.